What's up, everyone? It's Rayvon from Luv Lola. Welcome to my channel. So, just in case you don't know, Luv Lola is all about gold hardware. We are obsessed with it over here. There's just something about the look of gold. I just find it's just so sexy. It makes the bag look so classy, in my opinion, and just takes everything up a notch. So with that being said, I'm always looking for pieces that you're not going to find at every other hardware store as far as bag supplies. Like I'm always searching for unique pieces. And because a lot of my pieces are unique, especially my locks, I get a lot of people questioning me, how do you install it? So I'm going to start trying to make videos to show you how to install it. For the most part, they're pretty simple. There's going to be screws involved. Sometimes you're going to have to cut a hole, but this is the lock that we're going to be doing today. Again, it's really easy to install. Don't let hardware scare you. You get the fancy hardware, put it on your bag, and it's going to take your bag up a notch. So yeah, this is the one we're going to be doing today. Isn't she so pretty? Love it. And this one, you attach it with a magnetic snap. So basically, it's like a glorified, fancy magnetic snap. That's all.
You're going to have magnetic snap, the male and female side, 2 washers, and there's going to be a total of 4 screws, 6 screws. Some of the screws may be in already, some may not, but it's going to be a total of 6, okay? First thing we want to do is get the screws taken out. Now on the back, you'll see that you have a spot where one side of the magnetic snap is going to go in. It's truly your preference. Usually on a bag, we put the female on the back part, like the main body, and we put the male on the flap that goes over. But you can do whichever you prefer. Now, this part of the lock is going to be on the flap. So because it's going to be on the flap, I'm going to be attaching the male part. Okay. So once you've got the screws out, we're going to open it. And the male part is going to go in. And you want the part that sticks out to be on the back side. So you want to be able to see that when you're looking at the back of it, okay? I'm just going to take that out for a second, actually, while we do this next part. So this part of the lock basically is going to go over the tip of the flap. Now this is a bag that I started years ago and never finished because I got caught up on this part. I had never done it before. I need to revisit. This is my Vani pattern. I was still kind of working on the finish of the flap, so the size may be a little different. This part of the flap is going to go, this part of the hardware is going to go over the edge of the flap. So this essentially is what we're looking at. Okay? And there's a groove on the underside of this lock. You see that? So that is the part that is going to be flush against the bottom of your flap. So to mark it, and you add this part to the flap when the flap is finished. I'm going to go ahead and find my midpoint. Okay. Here's the midpoint of my bag. And I have an erasable pen that I'll use to help me keep that. Okay, so now I am going to place this on the mid. And I'm just going to push down so I can get an indentation of these pieces that are sticking out. That's where the screws are going to go into. So we're going to be making a hole in the bag. So you can either use this to press against there and get an indentation, or this piece has a groove right there. Do you see that groove? That's the same as the groove on here. It's the same, it's at the same point as the groove on there, so you can use that also as an indentation. I actually think that would be best. So I'm going to place this on here, placing that indentation at the edge. And now I am going to mark inside of those holes. All right, and now I'm going to get my holes punched. Good morning, beautiful.
Good morning.
All right, once you got your hole placement, we're going to go ahead and punch a hole in here really quick. All right, now we're going to place the top piece over it, and we're going to take those little things that are sticking out and place them in the holes. Now make sure that you have interfaced. Actually, I like to stabilize, personally, my pieces that I'm going to be installing hardware, so you should have stabilizer on the underside of your exterior or your lining. And this isn't going all the way through. It's not necessary to go all the way through. You just need it to be lined up so that when you install your screw from the other side, it can find it. That's all. Okay. All right, there we go. So I can see my holes from the underside, just like that. Now we're going to line up our bottom piece. Oop. Almost forgot to put my magnetic snap in there. I'm putting the male piece in. I might install a little piece of stabilizer just so that, because this is moving just a little bit, because there's not, I don't know how to explain it, but I'm going to install a little piece of hardware. I think that's going to help it stay where I want it to stay without moving around.
Hey everyone, it's me again. I just wanted to take a quick second to tell you that Luv Lola recently had a big drop. We introduced a bunch of new vinyl collections. We've got some faux leather going on. I've added a bunch of new colors to my checkered collection. So yeah, take a moment and check it out. It's lovelolalooks.com. These are just a few examples of what I've added. I also restocked a lot of the popular vinyls that were out of stock. So yeah, and I've got this new vinyl. I worked on this so long, this embossed print. It's got a pretty gloss on it. So yeah, go check it out. Okay, here we go.
You can make your prong go out or in. I don't think it really matters. It's a personal preference. I like mine to go out. Okay, yeah, see, now that isn't moving. Back to it. Lining up the holes, making sure that there is a clear pathway to the holes for our screws. There we go. I'll just use my fingernail to kind of push the material down around it. Okay, that's good. Lining it up. And then we're just gonna get the screws installed. All right, get those screws nice and tight. And there we go, there's the front part. Second part is super easy. You're gonna install it like you would regularly install a snap. Now let me say this. Okay, now let me say this. You see where the snap part is located? Okay, now if you were making a bag and the place before your magnetic snap was here, then obviously it's not gonna work the same as here, right? Because it's about an inch, probably an inch and a half difference. So you will need to adjust the placement of the other side of your magnetic snap. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So for example, if on this bag, when it folded, the magnetic snap was here, that means the magnetic snap would have been, the other side would have been about right here on this pattern. But to adjust for the fact that it's now lower, I would have to lower this other side to make room for that. So definitely do make sure that your pattern is going to be okay with you placing the snap, you know, about an inch or so down to make for this lock. So take that into consideration when using it. So a lot of times I just will find the placement of the bottom half after I do the flap. Like I'll just let it see where it naturally falls and I'll put it there. So the way this is falling, I would probably put it about right here. Okay, so I'm just gonna mark that on my bag. About right here. And then you install it like regular. Where's my other washer? It's crazy how stuff can get lost so fast. Like that doesn't even make any sense. As usual, you always want to make sure you have a piece of stabilizer behind your hardware. And there we have it. One day I'm gonna finish this bag. When I get ready to, at least I already have this beautiful lock on it. Does anybody have a video on how to install these handles with the hardware? I purchased this hardware a while back because I absolutely love the look of a handle with this kind of hardware on it. But I just haven't mastered how to use it. I did cut a hole. I cut a slit in here and ran the end of the handle through, but I don't know. A little bit of a perfectionist when it comes to some things, and I just didn't like the way it was looking. I mean, I did it as an afterthought. So maybe it's because I don't have full access to getting down in there, but I just need it to be super, super tight. I don't want any shifting and you can see, you know, what's going on down there. So I don't know, help me. Maybe if I pull it through and put a rivet. I was trying to not put a rivet, but that may be my only option. But even that doesn't make me all the way happy. So I don't know, guys, tell me what you think. If you have seen a pattern that has this type of hardware attaching the handle, or if you have a few tricks of the trade yourself. I have looked everywhere. I cannot find it. I know it's out there. I've seen a bag with it. I just can't remember the name of the pattern or anything. But anyway, yeah. So that's how you install this hardware. It's super easy, guys. Don't let hardware scare you. Typically, it's pretty simple. There's screws and that's about the gist of it. But yeah, there we go. All right. Let me turn it this way. So yeah, there we go. All right, thanks for watching. Bye. All right, y'all, that's it. Thank you so much for joining me for this video today. You can find me on all of the social media platforms. And I'll also go ahead and add all of that stuff in my, I'll add a link to all of that stuff in the video description box as well. So Thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you next time. Bye.